Hello and welcome to Unequally Yoked Us Now. I'm Neal Winters.
And I'm Naomi Winters.
And I'm Rosalyn Winters.
Our daughter.
Rose.
Welcome, Rosalyn. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday morning.
Yes. Let's address the elephant in the room. You're not on camera, and why did you choose to do that?
Because I did not want to be on camera.
Well, that's fair. This is your avatar. She doesn't look like a Rosalyn. She looks like a penguin, though.
That's actually a kiwi.
Oh, it's a kiwi. Looks like a brown penguin. I don't know. Okay, so
Flightless birds.
Flightless birds, where are they from?
Not America.
Probably New Zealand, because kiwi is a New Zealand phrase.
Then,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Google it and put it in.
We got sidetracked.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you. This podcast is kind of a religious-based podcast. So my first question is, what were your views on religion when you were younger and a wild child? Well, let's level set. How old are you?
I am 22.
Okay. So you've had some life experience. You've had some stuff going on in your life.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about
Okay. So obviously I grew up Latter-day Saint.
You're so PC.
Listen, I stopped myself from saying Mormon. I always say Mormon, but that's what they want to be
You're
called
more
now.
respectful than I am. Anyway.
Anyways, and I grew up in the church. I honestly don't remember a lot of the teachings. I heavily ADHD. Barely remember anything from like any of the classes, but I remember going to church basically every Sunday, not wanting to, sitting in the back because there was 5 kids and we could never get there on time to sit in the actual pews, so we were in the overflow section. I remember making paper airplanes during sacrament meeting and eating Cheerios.
Did I encourage you to make? I don't remember.
No, to entertain the younger boys.
You made it for them?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't hold still?
Correct.
Okay.
And trying to pay attention and not.
Oh, that's so sad.
I brought the Cheerios.
Yeah. I remember liking the singing parts. I really like the singing parts, and that's when I would feel the spirit in music.
Do you remember going to the temple?
I think I went once, and not really. That was right around the time when Sabrina passed, so I don't have a lot of memory.
Did you go to the Raleigh temple?
I think I was in Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Columbia.
Actually,
okay.
no, that wouldn't have been around the time. I don't know. My memory's just bad.
Were you still going to church when Sabrina died?
Yes. I was going to, that was my freshman year of high school. I was going to church. I went to seminary every morning. Yeah.
What did you think of seminary?
It was entertaining enough.
What books did you study?
The Book of Mormon.
Oh, did you watch videos?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
We had cool videos.
Yeah,
I liked reading aloud and talking.
I always did too. Like I was always the designated reader. I always wanted to be the one.
I liked talking.
You like talking in seminary?
Generally speaking.
Oh, okay. So where are you now with your spiritual journey?
Just like whatever kind of rings true. I definitely lean into spiritualism. You know, I believe that there's an afterlife. I want to believe that there is reincarnation.
That seems to be a common theme in this podcast.
Yeah. I don't know if I do, but I want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I believe in the energy of the earth. Like, you can put energy into things and it will... Because, like, when you go into a historical building, you can... People say you can feel the history. That's kind of what I mean. And, you know, I think I believe in, like, the crystals and stuff. And, again, there's energy in the earth, and how you choose to interpret that.
Mm-hmm. In terms of what you grew up in our household, what were your early opinions of men's and women's roles, and where have they morphed into now?
Well, I have 2 older sisters, 2 younger brothers. I'm the middleest.
The middleest of the children.
I'm the middleest. And I really saw that as a benefit, especially like being right in the middle, like 2 girls and 2 boys. I could go on with either group, say, because I remember there was like a girls' day where you guys went and got your nails done and saw Les Mis, and then there was a boys' portion of that, and they went off and did either, and I was able to choose either.
Because you were the middleest of the childrenist.
Yeah, so I could do what I wanted.
Well, and you were a tomboy.
I was a tomboy, heavily. But strong women. Women are strong because mom was around.
What did you think a dad's role was as you grew up, based on my actions?
I don't really know.
You don't? Because I was never there.
Because you were never there. I didn't really, a dad's role was to make money and provide.
Do you remember getting in trouble from me in the fights?
Yeah, you were the authoritarian discipline, bring down the judgment.
Of God.
Not of God.
Wait till your dad gets home, right?
Yeah. Wait till your dad gets home.
But did he really dish out?
He would yell.
He would yell.
I remember
He was unmedicated.
I remember holding you in your room for a long time.
Yeah, I was not. Context. I was looking back on it. I think I was probably like really depressed, but didn't know how to express that, so it came out in anger. So I would literally fist fight people. Not proud of it.
Mainly me.
Mainly mom. But I was a very physically violent child.
Yes. 1 second.
Not part of who she was.
I was just severely depressed. Looking back on it, I like read journals and I'm like, I think I was depressed, guys.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
really
but I didn't
depressed.
realize it.
So,
I wondered.
what types of things do you read now?
asked.
I'm curious.
This was like probably age 11. This was a while ago. I looked at it and I like had named my depression, and I'm like,
you named your depression?
I named it
Susie?
No,
Like
I
an
think
alternate personality, maybe?
No, just something that I could like personalize and fight, so to speak, like physically.
What did you name it?
I think it's Tyler.
Tyler?
I don't know why.
That's kind of a white name, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me.
Do you know any Tyler? Did you know any
No.
Tyler? I have a friend, Tyler, from growing up.
I know Tyler's now.
I worked with a guy named Tyler, too.
So did I.
Yeah. Interesting. So did you blame us for your depression, or
No.
did you just
Again, I didn't realize I was depressed. I was just very violent and angry.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know. I was just angry all the time.
Rosalyn, you always felt so bad after.
Yeah,
you
I
lost
would.
it.
I would fight. I would fist fight, and then I would like go and cry
Mm-hmm. It was really
because I didn't mean it. I
That's-
didn't want to hurt anybody.
Did you get in fights with friends
No,
schoolmates?
Just my
mom?
family.
Oh.
They pissed me off.
So are your 2 older sisters, Sabrina and whatever, Jade? Yeah, Sabrina and Jade used to make videos for YouTube. Did you participate in those?
Yeah, sometimes. They didn't want me to.
How did that make you feel?
Sad. I just wanted to be included. There was this one video where Sabrina like was submitting something for a giveaway, and it was like magic tricks, and she pulled me in at the end to like, bite the string and then pulled the string, slap me, and that's what I think ended up getting her the winning thing of it, because the dude thought it was like so funny.
Oh my god.
So you helped her win?
Basically.
By
That's
being
awesome.
slapped.
It wasn't a real slap, but yeah. But yeah.
That's funny.
So I want to talk a little bit about Mom's alcoholism.
Yes.
That's kind of the big thing that oversaw our lives for a long time. Part of her alcoholism was during COVID, so you
Yes.
saw a lot up close and personally.
Yes.
How did you feel about that? Like, what was your normal day dealing with that like?
During that period of time, I did not have a mom. That is what I kind of told myself, and I'm like, because I still crave that motherly support, and I'd get maybe a little bit of time with her sober, maybe an hour a day, because a little girl wants her mom.
Yeah. How do you feel about that now? Like, are you angry? Do you need therapy? We all need
therapy.
Don't we all?
I don't know. I see her for who she is now and what she's gone through and what she's working through. I see her working on it daily. Staying sober, working on the steps. And I see how proud I am of her.
That doesn't take away the pain, though, and
It
the
doesn't.
suffering.
No, but that was an era in time that I've kind of processed.
Do you remember it, or do you think back on it often?
Not often, no.
You had like a triple whammy.
Oh, yeah. So, high school. I started high school 2017. Sister died that fall, my freshman year. And then, I had...
And she was your ride.
She was my ride, and then I had to take the bus.
Yeah.
Well, I would take the bus in the morning because she wouldn't get there until, like, right when school started. To be fair.
Talk about... Was that you that was with her when the car broke down?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Every time we drive in that it didn't break down, it stalled and it freaked us out. Every time we go in that intersection now, I'm like, this is where Sabrina stalled the car.
And you called me and asked me what to do, and what did I say?
And you were like, just, keep driving, pull to the side of the road. And we pulled to the side of the road later, and you're like, yeah, it should be fine. And we kept driving home, and it was fine.
Yeah, that was an Oldsmobile Aero, 2003. It was.
That's when I was born.
It was. It was on its last legs when that happened. So.
Yes, it was.
So did you ever get so mad at Mom when she was in her alcoholism that you wished bad things on her?
No. But I did. I don't know if you remember this because you were so drunk. I slapped you because I was so mad. I don't think I've ever told you that or anybody that.
Were we alone?
I think so. It was like late at night and I was so mad and I slapped you.
Across the face?
Yeah.
Was I
You
awake?
Yes.
What did I do?
You told me to.
I told you to slap me because you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. It's coming back to me. Did it help?
No.
Yeah.
Physical violence didn't help. For someone who was physically violent as a kid.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Do you have any questions?
So many.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm ready for the answer. It's, wow. Okay. Do you remember what year in high school that was?
I don't know if I was still in. It must have been either senior year or maybe even later.
Was it hard? I don't remember it hurting, but things didn't hurt when I was.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you remember what she did to get you that mad?
No. She was just like really, really drunk. The nonverbal.
Oh, right. The staring off into space.
Yeah. And I was just over it. I was pissed that my mom was an alcoholic. I didn't have a mom. And that she wasn't there for me when I needed to confide or talk.
Did I make up any ground, but it's not the same with the dad. So
It's not the same relationship as with the mom. You were always like driving, making dinner, and I saw you kind of step up into that parental role that you didn't really have when I was a kid, because again, you were always away on business trips.
right.
That's kind of the first time I saw you step into that parental role, funnily enough.
Because I was gone all the time.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, when you were young.
Yeah.
Like I was gone for 6 years, basically.
Yeah.
We went on a couple cruises and had a couple vacations, but I was gone the rest of the time. You guys didn't know you didn't know your dad, really.
No, I remember going to a friend's house, and this was in the West Jordan house. And their dad coming home at the end of the day and thinking how strange that was.
That's so sad.
It is.
The joy of an accounting career. Mom used to get mad at me when I first started with the accounting firm. I was like, we've got to make some sacrifices now so I can achieve my career goals and have better life later. And she hated that. It's gotten better now.
I'm going to be an accountant. I'm graduating in May with my associates, and then I'm going to UNC Charlotte in the fall.
Yay!
I'm going to be an accountant, guys.
Yay, Rosalyn. So what did you think about my career goals?
I thought there's a work-life balance, and
You didn't have it.
it's been difficult for you throughout your career to do anything that you felt like was a confrontation. And in order for there to be work-life balance, you do have to advocate for yourself, in my opinion. So I do wish there was more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there could have been without it damaging your career.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a lot better than I did, but I'm very much into non-confrontation. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about Rosalyn.
That's me.
That's you. Okay,
No, I'm
so
not.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your chronic pain.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
I always crack myself up because that's what Dad always says. Here's the deal. I have Hashimoto's, and then I also most likely have fibromyalgia, but they can't diagnose me with that because of my Hashimoto's.
What is Hashimoto's?
It's a thyroid thing. So you know how you have hypo and hyper thyroid?
Low and high.
Low and high.
levels.
That's kind of what Hashimoto's is. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's all over the place.
Like it's hard to like. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high.
That's what my understanding of it is. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't know what
It's more complex, but yeah, it's a hot mess.
It's a
That's
hot
what
mess.
it is.
My thyroid's a hot mess.
That when you look it up in the encyclopedia, like the old days, because we don't have Google, that's what it says. A hot mess.
Oh, the
Yeah.
encyclopedia says Hashimoto's hot mess.
Hot mess.
Thyroid's a hot mess.
Thyroid's a hot mess.
Yeah.
So, and you're in chronic pain too?
I am on medication for it, so my quality of life is so much better for my thyroid. Now my thyroid's like leveled out, but with that brought always being tired all the time, not realizing it. Also, when they diagnosed me with that, they're like, "Your iron sucks." It's like
you
below
couldn't-
12.
You
Like,
couldn't,
why are you awake?
you couldn't donate blood for a year, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, like, you did all of your time while I was an alcoholic. You were in stupid COVID all through high school. You had a sister pass away. You were depressed. You had Hashimoto's. You had iron deficiency. And you had to do school at home when you were in pain. And
I don't think I was in pain
Tired.
yet.
you don't think you were in high school? Yeah, you
I-
were.
I
You were
don't
telling
know.
me about your knees for a while.
Oh. I don't know.
Should we cut off your knees?
No.
Okay.
To not to
Cut off my pinky toes. That's another tangent that we're not going on, though.
So you did incredible things what strengths, assets do you think got you through the most? And what did you develop?
I don't know. Perseverance is something I've always kind of been, because, the fastest, easiest way that you're going to get through something is just by doing it and going through it. That's the only way to do it. It's going to work out because it has to, one way or another. Or we die. It's a cynical view, but at the end of the day,
It's not cynical.
Or is it positive? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, the saying is everything happens for a reason.
I don't believe that.
But yeah.
It's going to work out one way or another, or you're going to die, and at the end then you'll be dead, and you won't have to worry about it.
You know what one of my
Am I wrong?
one of my favorite phrases is, today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday, and all is well. That's not always
That's
the case,
really wordy.
but I like it. It
So
used
do
to be
I.
on one of those posters, by
Yeah.
the classrooms.
Yeah.
Now I lay me down to sleep.
What classroom?
Probably
Castle
seminary.
Heights Elementary in Price.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Different times.
yeah. Or maybe it was in a book. I don't know. I just today
Seem to remember having prayers in school.
I never had prayers.
Like just one
Oh,
teacher. And they probably got in big trouble.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Chronic pain. Right.
I have another question,
Okay.
not about pain. Who drove you to work more during Mom's alcoholism?
You.
And how often did Mom drive you? Do you remember?
Barely.
Okay,
I
because
remember driving you so much. I hated it.
I don't think you drove as much as you think you
No,
did.
I didn't. But you didn't drive as much as you think you did either.
You drove me to my interview.
Yeah, because you didn't have a freaking driver's license for
Listen,
you.
freshman. Let me explain that.
Yes, please.
My perspective. Freshman year, that's when driver's ed's happening. My sister died.
Yep.
And I missed a class and one of the exams, and I just never made up that time or that exam because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why.
cares?
You didn't have. I mean, you weren't
lot.
mentally in a place where you wanted. It's okay.
I didn't want to.
Did you feel guilty asking me to drive you all the time to
A
the
little
pizza
bit.
shop? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, looking back on it, I wonder what else I could have done if I did have my license. But at the same time, it's like, you guys have cars and I didn't.
Yeah, it worked out. Now, let's talk about what we saw every day on the way to your work. Drove me nuts.
There was on the way, there's this one house, and it had a fridge on the porch, and it was there for like at least 2 years just sitting on the
more.
porch.
We drove by that and the house had no trespassing. I mean, it looked like a hillbilly house. Like, it had no trespassing signs. It had junk all up and down the porch. The fridge still had the
Plastic wrap.
plastic on it from being brand new.
Yeah.
And it
That's
was-
weird.
It was out there for
I mean, we
years.
do weird stuff too. So
Yeah, but we don't have a fridge on the porch.
I mean,
You know what we did when we were first in our house in West Jordan?
Have a fridge on the porch.
We had a couch on our porch, and the neighbor got so annoyed with it, he finally came and picked it up and took it to the dump.
Did you use that couch?
When not when it was outside. We were getting rid of
Oh.
it. We never took it
Oh.
to the dump. Our neighbor was in construction, and so he had the stuff to take it.
But
But
that
he
was nice of him.
it was,
he
but
did a lot of nice things.
he
for
did a
us.
lot of nice things. He was he kind of helped general contract my basement when I did it. So now, here's my question.
Yes.
You are 23, 22,
Almost 23.
almost 23 this summer. You are engaged.
I am.
Talk a little bit about your fiance, who we love, by the way.
I love him. He's pretty great. He's pretty awesome.
How did you guys meet?
It was my freshman year spring choir class is when I met him, and he was also in the musical that year, which I helped out with. And I kind of got the sense that he liked me. So I was like, okay, I'm, summer break had just started. I'm about to go to Utah for a month and a half. I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah, I'm vaguely remembering that you barely started talking to him right before you went to Utah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shot. So if it goes bad, then I'm not even in the state for a month and a half. But hey, it worked out, and now we're still together 7 years later.
Well, one thing I want to talk about.
But hang on.
Oh, go ahead.
Unbeknownst to you, someone that became a really good friend of mine later on had given him the guts, like knew that he had a huge crush on you, and she told him, you got to go for it, you're gonna lose it, you gotta go.
And what's funny is, so my fiance's best friend was in my church class, in my Sunday school class.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that kid, my fiance's best friend's mom,
she helped
my mom's friend
bring in meals when I was in rehab.
Yeah, she took a lot. She took care of us a lot while Mom was in rehab. One thing that is interesting that I'm actually excited about is your boyfriend is African American.
Oh, that's what you were leading. He's black, guys.
Yeah, but
Oh my God.
but no,
It's
side note. But the fun thing is like you guys are getting married, and his mom is this great cook, and
she's amazing,
spicy, and all this stuff, and we're like white, bland.
We're so bland.
I'll go over there, and I'm like. So recently our water heater broke. So I went and showered at his house every night. And I stayed for dinner one night and his dad made po' boys. And he was like a barbecue sauce, and it was like a little spicy. And I didn't say anything, but someone else, either my fiance or maybe one of his siblings, I don't remember, saying it's got a little kick to it. And I'm like, I have to agree, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm white.
Like that's honestly one of the things I'm looking forward to the most about the wedding is the kind of the two cultures of food. Like when we get the meal, I definitely want to make sure both cultures are represented. His parents are wonderful. By the way, his whole family is excellent.
Yeah, they're all pretty great.
Yeah, so
we lucked out with in-laws.
Yes,
but mom's excited to learn how to do hair.
I'm so excited.
So am I.
Rosalyn says that I am. What did you call me? A reverse.
What?
You said I was reverse, racist. Like the kind where...
That sounds like me, but I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Mildly racist,
No.
as Louis C.K. calls it.
I don't know.
So, do you remember how you explained that?
No.
You're kind of like obsessed, like thinking it's all cool and wanting to be like that. And that's a type of racism as well.
Yes.
Talk
now
to me
I do.
about that.
Like, it's not so much now, but like saying you want little black grandkids is like really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah. It's not normal.
At
We're
least
not normal
saying it
people.
like how you do.
I want them so bad.
Little black grandbabies.
They're so
and
adorable.
our other son is married to a Chinese girl. So
cute.
yeah, so
I love diversity though.
we're gonna get
I
all
love it.
all the representation in our family. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you talked to Mom about on one of our podcasts was code switching.
Yeah.
What is that?
So that I'm white. I don't know if I should. Okay.
If you don't feel comfortable
I don't-
talking about it, we can talk.
But
to your fiancé
what
about
it I would talk to him more about it. But what it is like when you trying to articulate this correctly. When you switch like how you're talking with certain groups of people. Cuz a black person talking to another black person versus a white person, because of like the cultural stereotypes, they can be very different. Like, again, I would talk to an actual black person about this.
So
it.
is it only that culture that they use that
I
way?
don't think so.
I mean, it can be translated to everything. Like, I
Yeah.
code switch. I'm an accountant, and when I talk to non-accountants about accounting things, I have to change my
yeah.
my
I
language.
code switch with parenting
Yeah.
with each kid.
I don't know if that's like the right word or
Probably not the
something.
right
I
We're
don't know.
probably going to get all 29 of our watchers are going to be like, "You racist! You have no right to talk
but
about
it's it's different. Yeah.
Okay.
that." Now, here's kind of a couple things. First of all, you're 22, turning 23 this summer.
Yes.
You're living at home,
Yes.
and
In this economy, yes.
How do you maintain independence while also living at home? Is that hard?
A little. I mean, I pay for my own car insurance. It's expensive. I work a job. I'm doing school. I don't know.
Do you feel like you get enough autonomy living here? Like,
Yeah,
do
I
you
mean,
wish
like,
you
you-
had more autonomy.
No. I don't know.
You've got a cat.
I've got a cat.
Not that has anything to do with independence.
But, I'll buy groceries for myself, buy food. I buy a lot of my own stuff. So that's kind of like the financial part of it.
How do you feel about moving out?
Scared.
How come?
I'll have to like pay for rent,
So it's a financial concern.
feed myself, come up with meals, make them, eat them.
Survival.
Survival.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can always come home and
Yeah.
stay here.
Yeah.
Do your laundry.
Did
Yeah.
Still groceries.
Yes.
you you've applied for housing, right?
Yes.
And how does that work?
I don't know if I'll get housing because transfer students, there's limited housing. So I don't even know if I'll get housing. And if I don't get housing on campus, I'm going to stay here because I can't afford rent. The only way I'm going to be able to afford it is because of student loans, is the only way I'll be able to move out at this point in my life.
And probably get roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had 8 of us in a small house, and I had another girl in my room. Like we had 2 to a room.
Yeah, but like I don't know because I'd only be working maybe 10 hours a week, and with car insurance and then also rent and food and gas.
Yeah, loans.
I-
grants.
We'll probably help you out with car insurance when you move out.
Yeah,
Go to
but
college.
it's not feasible for me at this point in my life.
Yeah.
If I want to actually get good grades and be able to graduate.
Yeah, I mean, once you get into one, but you've done a lot of your big degree work,
Yeah.
so you're going to be doing a lot of generals.
I didn't talk to an advisor when I switched my degree.
I mean, that's the crazy thing is because you are going to be doing a lot of generals, it's going to be a lot easier than what you've been doing. Like, you're going to be like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is so much easier than
But I
where
also
was.
haven't done a math class in like 3 years at least.
I came back to school after my mission. I took a math class and it
I'm
came
gonna
back.
have to do algebra.
Yeah, I
and
took
like
an
maybe calculus.
Yeah, business
I'm gonna
calculus.
need a tutor.
Do you know
You know
I
what?
never had to do that?
Good for you. You're not an accountant.
I'm telling you, Rosalyn, I'm telling you right now, you're going to succeed. Because I came back from my mission having not done math for 3 years, and I took kind of not remedial, but like a catch-up algebra class, and it came back so fast. So you may feel intimidated, but you don't need to be.
If they ask me to do trigonometry, guys, I'm failing.
I hated trig. Calculus was awesome. Business calculus was awesome.
They ask me to.
Have you done statistics yet?
No.
Ooh, statistics are so much fun.
I love statistics.
They
Hard work.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna. I really honestly.
It's gonna be hard.
For you. I hope you're able to move out and live that life independent
before
of
you
us.
get married,
Before you get
it's
married.
so fun to be
You know,
single.
I've never lived on my own
well engaged.
my entire life. I've always lived with someone. Like, I grew up in my house, went on my mission, lived with a companion all that time, came home, lived at my house, got engaged, moved in with Naomi's family. Like, I have never been on my own. It's crazy.
Correction. You were on those business trips all the time. So you were
That's different.
still
That's different.
whatever.
Do you?
You slept in your own bed
I
without
did.
any
Oh,
family
I slept
around.
in my own bed, but I've never like only had to support myself.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So, anywho,
My knees hurt.
do they?
In my
Knees?
I think we're probably
knees.
knees. Is there anything? Let
My
me see if there's
ankles.
anything
We
else.
didn't- we-
A little bit about your chronic pain.
I am 22 years old. My knees hurt a lot. Well, not a lot. But it does get bad. Before this medication, I would like go into work and I'd be like, guess how long the ibuprofen's going to take to kick in, guys? It still hasn't. I took it an hour ago.
And you're so you take medication for chronic pain. You also take medication for ADHD. When did we find out you had ADHD?
Pretty young.
young because Sabrina had it, and
I don't know. I've
What-
been taking something for it forever.
What different like
But I
what's the difference between taking it and not taking it for someone who doesn't really know?
Something how I when I needed to up my dose somewhat recently, I was like what I told my psychiatrist, and like the best way I could describe it is I want to read the words don't want to be read on the screen. Like even when I want to like play a video game, do something I enjoy, I can't focus on it. I couldn't focus on it.
Because when you were in high school, you would take the ADHD medication during the week and then kind of take the weekend off. But you're finding that that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah. Like to be able to focus, my brain chemicals need it.
Do you
you
need
know-
it for your job too?
Yeah. Cause I'm a customer service staff at a supermarket chain. And that requires dealing with money services, dealing with people who may not be so nice and may be unhappy. Luckily it's a pretty good clientele.
Well, it's a high-end grocery store too.
Yeah. I say recently, this was like 6 months ago. I'm part of the lifestyle program for a massage place because it really helps.
It's worth it.
it's
It is.
self-care, really.
Yeah.
It's maintenance.
The nice thing is that if you get on FSA, you can get a prescription for massages, and
How do I do that?
And
Go
We'll talk
towards-
about
get
that later.
reimbursed. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Just go to your doctor, and you could probably
Personally.
ask your psych for I don't know.
Anyway,
don't know.
that's a thing. It's cool.
Anyways,
And what else about chronic pain do
chronic
you want
pain-
us to know?
it like getting. I never had it as bad. Like it would wake me up in the night, but like waking up in pain sucks. Like my joints hurt, like my ankles, my knees, sometimes my wrists and elbows, joints you don't think would hurt in a 22-year-old hurt. Like I'll find myself talking to older customers like about arthritis, and I'm like, I have joint pain too. I get it. And they're like, I know. And then we'll just yap about it.
So you're like an old person at heart.
Yeah, started going gray at 15.
Mom when did you go gray?
About 27, 28. That's when I really had to start dying.
And
I
that-
have a gray streak.
You have Naomi's mom went gray at that age too.
Yeah.
I started getting gray hairs at 15.
You got them young. That's probably like
I have a nice little stripe.
chemical stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have salt and pepper, and that's about the extent of my gray. I don't have a lot. My
Okay.
beard has gray.
Good
which
for you.
Isn't showing. So
Senior year of high school
okay.
was completely online.
Uh-huh.
So, and then also with that, 2019, December 2019, I was like, I was on birth control. I've realized this after the fact, my birth control, and then I was also on Abilify. But I was depressed as hell, and I got to a point where I was like, hey, parents. So I was working at Subway, and there was this new coworker, and we just talked about life, and I was like, I'm depressed, and I think suicidal, and he's like, you gotta talk. And I had this conversation with this coworker, and then after that I talked to Mom. I was like, hey, I think I'm suicidal. I think I need to go spend a little time at the mental hospital, get my medication adjusted really fast, and just kickstart being happy again.
That made a huge difference.
It did.
Because we were afraid of sending you there after Jade's experience with the mental institution here in North Carolina. It was awful. I think we've talked about that before. And so we were really scared about sending you. But I think that was one of the best things that you could have done at that time.
I needed
of your
it.
life.
You had a really good counselor after too.
Yeah.
Really good therapist.
Yeah.
What was it like being inpatient?
It was structured. The routine helped a lot. Just kind of having a plan for the day and knowing what was happening.
And this was right after Christmas, right?
It was right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas.
And then there was some, group therapy, whatever. I don't really remember that. I was mainly there because I needed my meds adjusted quickly. And I needed that kick-started, like, under medical care.
And that
But
made a difference.
honestly, looking back on it, I think a big part of it was the birth control.
Oh yeah.
Like,
What-
I didn't connect those dots until
What
years
does
later.
birth control
It
do?
really messes with your mood.
Really?
Okay, so the side effect of birth control, the sheet, is like, if you could use it as a blanket if you unfold it.
The birth control sheet?
Yeah, you could use
It's really
like
big.
you could use it as a blanket.
Wow.
It's
Look it up.
I got a blood clot. I mean,
need
I
it.
do have a blood clotting disease, but it's the lesser kind, and like something like 60 to 70% of people are walking around with that genetic mutation and don't know it, and they never get blood clots. The only time I got one was when it was a higher side effect on a particular brand, and I
birth
got it 6 weeks after I started that
Wow. Yeah, you had a blood clot in your portal vein, and that was I did not realize how serious it was when
Very
she got it.
life-threatening.
Like if they wouldn't have found it, she would have died.
Which
Yeah.
they can't figure out why they did. Like I just,
Because you had a great tech.
yeah, I did.
You had a great ultrasound tech who
Took me 5 trips to the
she kept going
ER.
in. She kept going into the ER, and the guy's like, "You've got constipation up in your bowels. See right there.
I cleaned
And you
out
know
my
how
bowels
sometimes you
so
shake
good.
when you go to the bathroom? That's what it is. The poop's getting in your bloodstream."
Okay, we do not have to talk about this.
That's
Oh
what
my
he
gosh.
said. You know what?
Anyways.
That went south really fast.
Anyways.
It was
Then
So,
after that, and then also that made me gain weight and the Abilify, and then with Hashimoto's, that is a whole nother thing. Like I gained a lot of weight and I think it's because of the Abilify and the birth control, and then on top of Hashimoto's, which makes it hard to lose weight. Anyway, but I had chronic pain before I gained weight, which is like wild.
poor girl.
I love being a woman.
this is just part of being related to me.
I
Yeah.
love being a woman and the societal things that come with all of that. That was December 2019, and then we had a little, we were able to do the spring musical, thank God. Have prom. And then COVID hit, and it was like the last quarter of the year. Can I swear?
Yes.
Did jack shit in all the classes.
That was your junior year, right?
Yeah, my junior year. Like we did not it was online, and we didn't, because we were like, there's barely anything left of the school year. We haven't really done anything. Wrapped it all up. And then it was my senior year. I had 2 whole core classes that year. I was a TA for a theater class. I took my honors theater class, and I took my honors choir. And then I had 1 core class.
How did
each
you
semester.
How did you do choir when you weren't in school?
That's a great question.
Did you sing over the interwebs?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. You did.
We did karaoke Fridays.
Yeah, you learned quite a bit about music. Like a lot of
Yeah.
it was paperwork,
Yeah.
sightseeing.
Yeah, kind of.
You had to record stuff and send it back.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Our son did too for Spanish. Would have to say things and record
Yeah.
it back.
But
When was
that
your
was completely online. And theater online was kind of fun. And being a TA with that was a lot of fun, actually.
When was your first kiss with your boyfriend?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So NCTC, North Carolina Theater Competition or Conference, whatever the heck it stands for. I was not in that class at that time, but we met before he had to leave on the bus for that. We met in the lunchroom, before school started. And then he kissed me and he was like, bye, see you later.
In
and
the lunchroom?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so go on.
I remember for the rest of the day feeling his lips on mine, and I
Oh.
remember writing about it in a journal. And
Do you remember how old you were?
I must have been 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were younger.
No, I was 15 because I
Really?
was 14 when we started dating, and then I had my birthday that June, and then I was 15 after that, and then it
Really?
was that same year.
I'm always amazed when I look back at the pictures of you two when you first started dating at how much younger.
Young.
I shaved my head while I was in Utah too.
Yes, you did.
So it's you can kind of see where we were at based off of my hair growth.
He has always been like, it's your body. Do what you
Yeah.
want.
He's
I
great.
support
He's
you.
amazing.
Yeah.
I
He's
love him.
Yeah. He's a lot more understanding about that type
Yeah.
of stuff than I am. I'm still a little bit old fashioned.
Yeah. He doesn't care. I've always been a very independent person, at least like personality wise. Like I do what I want. You know, I am who I am. Y'all can deal with it. You know, it's not up to you can have your reactions about it. You're allowed that, but I am who I am. Deal with it.
Do you still get mad, like over the top angry?
Not over the top, I don't think. I'll do a fake eye twitch sometimes.
I don't think you've like beat me up since you were like, what, 12? Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was before that.
You would get
It might
so
have been
mad.
sooner.
I don't know. I was an angry child.
You poor thing.
I
But
was an angry father.
yeah. But I was, and you know, I'm at least with you guys good with boundaries and
Let's talk about
that's
boundaries.
what I want to talk about that, how at least what mom has said, like I've kind of taught her how to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And you're good at setting boundaries with me because I sometimes say things.
You push them and I'm like, okay, Dad, shut up. Stop that now.
And I'm doing better, aren't I?
Yes. Yes.
Not perfect. I will
Better.
admit I'm not perfect, but I am better. Like we left out some
Our anniversary's coming up.
yeah.
Okay, anybody who knows us, skip to this time. This was this morning. I look at a book and I'm like, what is this? And I look
deck
and it
of
says
cards.
it's okay, well it looked like a book. And on the back it says boudoir something. I flip it over. Boudoir photo poses. And I'm like, oh my God. And
It
that
was not me. It was
and that's a boundary I draw.
I was gonna look at them.
fully covered. Okay.
Yeah, no
Still, the implications that I now
it's
have.
Very gross. Yeah, because it's your parents.
I was listening to an episode of This American Life, and Ira Glass, who's the host, replayed an interview that he did with his mother from years and years ago. His mom's been dead for 20 years, but she was a therapist, and his girlfriend at the time, back in 1996, 1997, came across a magazine at a exercise place, and it said, and it was How to Please Him in Bed or something like that, and that magazine had quotes from his mother as a sexpert. Yes, and he was reading.
Oh.
He was reading the quotes from his mom to her, and she's like, "Yeah,
No.
yeah, I said that." And he's like, "I don't want to think of you like
know.
that." But he had her tell him a sexy joke, and he's like, "Yeah, I felt uncomfortable doing that because they did it for an experiment." That was a great episode.
Anyways, anyone who knows us, you can listen now again.
Yeah, we've got our anniversary coming up. We're gonna go see Stereophonic on Friday. Have you ever heard of Stereophonic?
No.
I have never heard of it either. I'm excited
Cool.
for it.
Unless we're too busy posing.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
I know I had to. Okay. We're all done.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
I have been good about putting them up with you, telling you, hey, I'm uncomfortable. Stop.
We
and-
need to respect that.
And
I do better.
I'm not.
And I think, because you've told me, I've helped teach you that and how to put them up for yourself and stick up for yourself. But I have learned from you, that I have to stick up for myself. From you sticking up for me.
Yes, I stuck up for my children.
When did Mom stick
a
up
fault.
for you? How did she stick up for you?
Just kind of always, It's just like how parents do for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mama bear clouds. Mine are big.
Yes,
Don't mess with my children.
Yeah.
correct. Oh, you know what? When we were out riding with my aunt's horses, and
Oh,
the
right.
horse got spooked, and ran off with me on it. I guess the saddle may not have been completely tight, and I tilted to the side. Mom, demonstrate.
She was holding on to the side like this.
Yeah, like that.
With one foot, like both her feet were stuck.
I was
in
like
the,
I was parallel with the ground.
yeah, she was stuck in the saddle.
And
the
my
saddle was
mom,
to the side.
my mom walks in front of that horse. No fear in the world.
Oh, I
Because
ran.
her baby was on a runaway horse.
That horse was going to stop, and I was going to get mauled, or it was going to stop. Because my baby was on its back, and she was not okay.
It's amazing what adrenaline will do. It just makes such a huge difference.
But, you know, my mom, you've always stuck up for me.
Yeah, we love you.
And I love you
Mom
guys.
loves you too.
I do. It's true.
So,
In case you didn't know.
to wrap it up, we're running out of time. Somebody has to go to work. Which one of us is it? You'll never figure it out.
The one with the makeup on. Not me.
I could have makeup on. You don't know.
I know you don't.
They don't. I could.
Well, I know you don't.
Okay. Whatever. Loser.
Viewers.
You would
No, I said loser.
Viewers, she does not have on makeup.
I could. I don't like wearing makeup though, so I'm not.
I don't wear makeup either, except for Halloween.
My fiance doesn't care, so.
I can't sit up straight.
Oh.
Skill issue.
Anyway, we need to not say anyway.
Anywho.
Do you have any closing thoughts there, Rosalyn?
I have thoughts sometimes.
Okay, well, we're gonna...
And closing thoughts. What do you guys think of the new set? They're gonna put up some pictures in the middle there, but you know they got this nice bookshelf. Obviously I'm not gonna be there, all the time.
We're hoping to have sponsors put there. I don't know if that will ever happen, but
I'm not.
it would be awesome if the sponsor were
But we have
right
these.
there.
Yeah, but we're gonna put some pictures up on the wall. We got this nice bookshelf that I can put all my books on. I put some of the talking ones, got The Secret Garden. I'm excited to reread The Great Gatsby because I read that in high school.
Is that F. Scott Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Guess when I read that last?
High school?
Never.
I've never read that one.
I've never read it.
Okay, so next book club, we're all gonna read The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll talk about it. Next time I'll interview you about The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I don't know how to read.
Skill issue.
I dreamt the other day that you didn't like reading, and I was really upset about that.
Closing thoughts.
She used to not like
I
reading.
used to hate reading, except for my dad would read to me, which I loved because
Heidi.
I was very social.
What do you guys think of the new set?
Oh yeah, we are in the new set, huh? Because we got these
Yeah.
new chairs that the cat
Seriously,
wants
she's
to
been talking
destroy.
about that the whole time.
Are you excited about the set?
I'm inviting the viewers to comment because
All
that's what
three of
you're
them.
supposed to do.
Oh, are
You're
they?
supposed to do a call to action. Listen, I took a marketing class. Wait,
Oh.
no, it wasn't marketing. It was business.
Business.
Whatever. You're supposed to do a call to action. So this is my call to action to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think of the new set. Share any thoughts and opinions you might have that you want to share.
Questions.
Topics to talk about in the future. Questions for me, questions for my parents. And that's how you're supposed to do it. Anyways, I hope you all had an excellent evening, day, wherever you're from. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning.
Thank you for listening. I have been Neal Winters.
I've been Naomi.
And you've been
Rosalyn. Again, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheerio. God bless.
Thanks, Rose.
Bye.